Here's a question for you. How are your relationships? Are they pretty smooth or are they kind of messy? How's your relationship with yourself? In today's episode, we're going to explain and dive into using Feng Shui to support your relationships. Welcome to Feng Shui Living, a podcast for busy women looking to de-stress and live with more intention. I'm Lisa Morton, and I'm passionate about helping you create a home that not only inspires you, but empowers you. Years ago, I was severely struggling with my mental health and wellness, and while I'd implemented yoga, meditation, therapy, and more, I just could not find that missing piece of the puzzle. And that was until I explored my home. You see, the interior designer in me had made it beautiful, but it wasn't supporting me energetically. Fast forward, and I've now been in the interior design industry for 20 years, and I've devoted the past 10 years to Feng Shui and a holistic design approach. In this podcast, I'll be sharing with you interviews, stories, and knowledge, as well as some super easy, simple tips that you can take on today. If you're looking to be more intentional and create a life and home that you love, then you're in the right place. Well, hello there, and welcome to this podcast. I'm Lisa Morton. I'm the host of Feng Shui Living podcast, and I'm so happy you're here. If you're new, thanks for joining. Thanks for checking it out. If you're a returning listener, oh my gosh, I know so many of you are you binge listen episodes. If you're new, I know so many of you have reached out with amazing comments, and I truly appreciate it. Now, I want to know what episodes you want to hear about, what topics, what do you want me to discuss here on the podcast? Because I'm planning for winter and I have some open spaces. Let me know. Also, you can pop into my private Facebook group. Now, you can join this group. It's totally free. It's just a group of people coming together to share about improving our spaces and learning about how improving those spaces can benefit your body, your lifestyle, your day-to-day, and benefit your family too. So join my private Facebook group called Good Chi Club. Again, we're all about spreading good chi, good energy throughout our spaces and to one another too. There's really great people in this group, really supportive. So come join there because they're the ones actually inspired today's podcast episode. I asked them, what do you want to know about? What do you want? Because they're always the first ones I go to. They're like my special besties in the club. And they said relationships. We want to know about relationships. And honestly, I don't think that's a topic that I've really ever covered here on the podcast. Maybe a little bit, but not devoted an entire episode to it. So today we're going to talk about utilizing Feng Shui to support and improve and enhance your relationships. So we have kind of three relationships that we're going to talk through today. One is your relationship with yourself. Two is relationship with a partner or spouse. And then three is relationships with those other people, which we'll get to. Before we can dive in and discuss improving these relationships, we must let go and clear clutter. If you have clutter in your way, this is going to be standing in your way and in your way of creating better relationships with people. Do you have random pictures of an ex-boyfriend floating around? That's not supporting you in finding your new partner. Do you have old memorabilia from past relationships that isn't serving you, that you don't need, that you don't want? Get rid of it. So take time to clear clutter before you start focusing on any specific areas. So you guys know I talk about the Bagua map all the time. This is this energetic map that I apply to your home floor plan to understand where these different 9 energy centers are in your home. And we can then access those areas to really enhance our lives. And you have a specific energy center connected to relationships and love. So I'm going to teach you how to find this location using the 3-gate method, which is how I apply Feng Shui. And to find that, I want you to picture yourself walking through your front door. So the door is directly at your back. You just close the door behind you. You're looking towards the rear of your home. Now I want you to go all the way to the rear and then all the way to the far right of your home. What room is that? If it's a bedroom, that's great for your spouse, your marriage, your companionship. If it's a bathroom or a laundry room, we might have some work to do. Don't forget, don't forget, I have my free 15-minute discovery call. So you can always jump on my website, schedule a discovery call. I'll put a link in the show notes and you can coordinate that, and we'll have a little chat about maybe a couple things you need to know about that. We want to be very mindful of what is in this gua, this energy center, because it can truly impact our relationships. As I said, there's 3 different relationships we're going to discuss today, and one is with yourself. What does self-care mean to you? And, I love journal prompts. This is a great moment to pause and journal, or even just to pause and think about, what does self-care mean to you? Because a lot of people, you'll hear a lot of coaches and people saying self-care is not bubble baths. I get that, but sometimes it is. What is self-care to you? If you haven't had any time to yourself all week, maybe self-care is just going on a walk for 20 minutes in silence, looking at the beautiful trees changing colors. What does self-care mean? Making time for yourself to exercise, maybe slowing down enough that you can sit down while you're eating a meal. Now, I want you to think about how you can cultivate more self-love, self-care. Bring those moments, those experiences, those opportunities near you. Make a list of things you want to do. Schedule it in your calendar. I actually scheduled a Lisa day, is what I called it yesterday. It was so much fun. So if you haven't had a day, and I get it, you might not be able to devote a day, but I want you to schedule time for yourself. So I have just, since the beginning of August, I've been running crazy. I've been so busy working all day every Saturday doing appointments, taking appointments at night. I've been in my office nonstop, to the point my husband's like, "Are you ever going to come hang out with us?" I just had a lot of really important things going on. I was teaching a new class online. I was coordinating a few trainings I have, along with my normal client load, right? Plus, we had the hurricane I had to deal with. And I mean, it's just been a lot. So I had this day and nothing was on my calendar. I was like, wow, I'm going to goof off. And I did. I guess I didn't take the entire day, but I slept in. It was amazing. I mean, maybe only a half hour, but it was amazing. It felt so good. I had coffee with one of my favorite people. I do this occasional coffee date with my girlfriend, Megan, and she's so much fun. And she's one of those people, we might not see each other for maybe even a month or so, but we connect and we have so much in common and so many common interests. And she's one of those people I just love to connect with. And I had a coffee date with her. I poked around some local shops that I wanted to pop into. And then I stopped at my favorite art gallery, the Ruth Art Gallery. She's here local where I live. I did some work on her studio space and I love going in there. If you're local to me, I'm going to put a link in the show notes to her gallery because you have to go. But she just has really beautiful, colorful art that just is so inspiring to me. And I just went and chatted with her. While I was there, I got to meet a couple artists that she also supports, because it's not just her. She's an amazing artist, but she also supports other artists so much in the community and just really wants to grow art here in the community. And so it's so inspiring to be there, and it's so beautiful to look around. Anyway, after that, another quick errand, and then I went home and I sat outside. The dogs were playing. I was able to just sit there and breathe for a little bit. I did some journaling. I was sitting on the swing outside, kind of bundled up in my hoodie, but the leaves are changing, and it was just the most amazing day that my body, that I just really needed. So plan some self-care time. The next part I want to talk about is your relationship with your partner or your spouse. So this could kind of go two ways. It could be improving your current relationship with your partner or your spouse. It could be finding a relationship. Maybe, you said this is going to be the year I'm going to find my amazing partner for life, and you want to bring that to fruition. So I have some tips for you. Number one is make space for love. If you currently have that partner, maybe you've been married for 10 years, check in. Do they have plenty of space? Do you have plenty of space? Are you both equally present in your home and especially in your bedroom? If you're looking for love, here's what I want you to do. I want you to clean out a drawer for that future amazing partner. Clean out a drawer in the nightstand. Maybe clean out a dresser drawer. Maybe make space in the closet for them. This will energetically create space, like energetic space for them to come into your life. Next is add pairs. I want you to add pairs of items to your master bedroom. Now, again, it's a bonus if your master bedroom is in that love and relationship guap, but even if it's not, this still all applies. Pairs of candlesticks, a pair of nightstands flanking the bed, a pair of lamps, a pair of decorative pillows. Do you just have one decorative pillow in the center of your bed? Can you add a pair so it's a balanced number? I also have a pair of cute little chairs in the corner. Think pairs in this space that represents two people, you and your partner. And we want them to be even, right? So we want them to match as close as possible. Next is I want you to remove photos of other people. Oftentimes I'll go into someone's master bedroom. We're going to work on it or do some work, and there's all the family photos. Now, I understand you want to enjoy and celebrate your family photos, but this is not the space to have your family photos. This master bedroom is the space to have photos of you and your partner only. Photos of all the kids, photos of all the other family members, photos of all your friends, go in another location. So be mindful of this. If you are looking to improve your partner, your relationship with your partner, your husband, your wife, your spouse, then look around. Are there pictures of you guys? Can you bring any more in? Maybe you put away wedding photos years ago. Get one out, reframe it, refresh it, clean it up, and hang it on a very visible, important wall in your master bedroom. Next, I want you to think of symbolism for love. What do you think of when you think of love and maybe romance? Oftentimes we kind of think of a heart shape. So maybe something that's heart-shaped, or maybe some abstract art that has hearts on it. Maybe some sort of decorative item that inspires a sense of romance or just love. So bring in decorative items in your space that might remind you of love and connection and partnership. Next, I want you to add very luxurious bed linens. When was the last time you invested in some new bed linens? Think of really luxurious textures. Think of decorative pillows with silk fabric, or a faux fur rug on the floor. Like, think of textures. This makes us feel kind of romantic. But also, this can also kind of be a self-care thing too. When was the last time you replaced any bedding, some new sheets, some new pillowcases, new blankets? This also kind of lines up with talking about sleep. This is a place we spend a lot of time. It's important to have bedding that supports your body. In my sleep episode, I talk about, spending as much as you can on really quality bedding, really investing in this space. And it's also for sleep, but also for romance. Like, you want to create this luxurious, amazing space that you want to be with with your partner. Next up on my list is artwork. Now, this is my last tip, but it's really important. Look around your master bedroom. What does the artwork look like? How does it make you feel? And what does it symbolize? Does it symbolize two people? Does it symbolize partnership? Does it symbolize something you really love? Maybe it's a favorite vacation spot photo that you blew up and framed and it's on the wall. And it reminds you of your favorite place to go with your partner. So years ago, I had a client who called me in, and her husband had started a very successful business. He was gone a lot. He was traveling a lot. But she's like, I'm struggling because I feel very alone. So we walk into their master bedroom, and she had this beautiful painting of this woman. It was very luxurious. It was very beautiful. But it was a woman by herself in her master bedroom. So no wonder she was feeling lonely. So we replaced it with a photo of the two of them. So look at the art. Look at what it's symbolizing. Look at what it's telling back to you. It was saying to her, I'm always alone, always by myself. Okay, so make space. Make physical space for that new partner. Make sure you have balance space too for your current partner, your spouse. Add pairs. Remove photos of other people. Add symbolism of love. Get those really luxurious bedding sets. Replace pillowcases. Add fresh new decorative pillows. Always a pair. Decorative pillows. And then check in with the artwork. And now we're on to our third section of this, which is relationships with other people outside of you, your family. This is the relationships with your coworkers, with your neighbors, with the postal delivery guy who drops off all your packages, with the PTA crew, with your girlfriends, with your group of friends that go out to play pickleball, right? This is relationships with everybody. How are your relationships with extended people? Do you struggle with them? Is there a common thread? Now, here's something in a recent audit episode with Allie. You can go listen to that because we talk about her moving to this new community and really wanting to find connection, feel a sense of belonging, and really just feel grounded and part of this community. It's very important to her. So I had her work on a vision board. And you might think, how is this going to work? But I want you to put on paper, or I love to use Canva, and I talk about that in the episode. I'll link back to that episode in the show notes. But it's important to put on paper to visualize somehow what you want for connection. Is that getting together with a bunch of women at a winery and doing wine tasting? Is that going on a morning walk with a good friend or a neighbor? Is that just going to social events and sharing about your work, your hobbies, your interests? How are you going to do that? How are you prepared for that? So I love to use a vision board. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's corny, that's silly. It's really powerful. And if you haven't done one, I encourage you to try and do one. Again, easily done on Canva. When you can really visualize what your goals are, it's so much easier to get there. So what do you want for your relationships, for your extended relationships, extended family members, neighbors, friends, colleagues, the guy at the local coffee shop who always hands you your coffee, like connections with all these people? Are they feeling good? Do you want them to feel a little better? Think about how you can cultivate better relationships with these people. So again, vision board is a great place to start. And then start collecting information. Maybe you want to go to this series of X amount of meetings at local community meetings and put them in your calendar and put together, think about how you're going to represent yourself. I always wear the 5 elements. If I'm going to a networking meeting, I will always wear something that connects to blue or black because that's the water element. And it makes me feel fluid. It makes me go with the flow. Sometimes they're great events, sometimes they're not. I always have my business card ready to go. Or maybe we're having a get-together with some new neighbors. Be inviting. Create like a nice little gift to give to them. Really go above and beyond to make connections with people. As I told Allie, we've moved so many times and it's hard to make new friends in a new community. When you're an adult, it's incredibly hard. So you have to try so much harder. So go work on the vision board. It will be huge. But check in with all three aspects of connections. With yourself. Self-love is always so important. Check in with your connection with your partner, your spouse, and think about how you're preparing for that dream person that's going to come into your life, if that's what you're looking for. And then also be very mindful of those connections with others. If you're struggling, clean up. Think about what's going on. How can you improve it? By using the 5 elements, by looking around what's in your space and what's symbolizing different aspects. Is it symbolizing good connections or is it not? All right, friends. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast all about utilizing Feng Shui and energy to improve our relationships. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with a friend. Also, head over and give us likes, all the good stuff. Leave a great comment if you don't mind, because it supports not just me, but my entire team. I will see you at the next episode. Special thanks to our production company, Influencer.tv, the WELT 95.7 studios, and our sponsor, Good She. For more information, head over to the show notes. Be sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and give us a 5-star review. I'll see you next time.